It's just for the thumbnail, but this is gonna be a little video how to do floor pans. But due to my floor pans already being installed, I'm gonna kind of use and reference some other sheet metal on this car for an example. I'm sure there's other ways to do this. This is just how I do it, and the materials that I use for this type of project. So for example, you're gonna have to take your floor pans in the car and you'll lay your new pieces over it, and then I'll draw the line where the new floor pan is to the old floor pan, but then I'll cut like 3/4 of an inch lower to where my floor pan and where I have that lip on there. You don't want too much of an overlap because that's just an area to trap moisture in and get corrosion between the panels. These floors I've actually already welded everything, even all the floor supports in here, they're all welded across, and I grind everything smooth to where you don't see really much of anywhere the welds were. But inside of those floor supports, I'll clean them, wire wheel them if they got rust, or you can blast them if you have access to sandblast or media blast, and is usually best, and then you can epoxy prime it. I just wire wheeled it. Mine didn't really have any rust in them. POR 15. So let's say like this frame rail right here, let's say this is the floor support. I do weld through primer on the side. This gold weld through primer is or for resistance welding, which is like spot welding, and I'm MIG welding everything, but it seems like the MIG welding weld through primer is total crap. The gray stuff, it just really, it's terrible. I don't like it. It seems to oxidize faster between the panels and everything. So I use this stuff, then I'll lay another piece over it. These are 8mm plug weld holes. I have a hole puncher pneumatic one, where this would sit over the panel and then you can weld it and it won't rust between it. So all of this is grinded to the bare metal. I weld through primed all of this, and inside of the rails I brushed POR 15 all inside this whole frame rail all the way up to this edge, and then did the weld through primer. So that's how you would do the floor supports, or I would do the floor supports. And all this stuff I had blasted, and I epoxy primed it and I scuffed it, and being this was a Norwood car, I actually just put some regular red oxide rattle can over it just to have the correct color. But it's been sitting around a while. You can see I had patch all of this with parts off another car because it was so rusted. And back to the floors in here. Yes, you would take your new floors, you lay them directly over the top. You could do maybe a rough cut down here, just to where when you go sit your new floors in, they'll sit down further. That way you don't cut too much off up here. I always do a rough cut, and I'll just cut, the basic part of it out just to get it out the way, so I can clean in here, clean between the floor supports, because there's two of them. I believe on this car's got two. One for where this seat is, and one on this one. And then, up in here, you can kind of cut around some of these other brackets to where you can leave the threaded holes for this. This I still never welded in, but this goes in the back side of the seat belt bolts. And then after everything's welded, this is all POR 15. It's good stuff. You can spray it over. The E-coat doesn't really last. It doesn't hold up to Louisiana's humidity and stuff. So, it's best after you get it all in, it's all welded and grinded smooth. I come back with a red Scotch-Brite pad and scuff, get all the shininess off of everything, blow it all out, get it super clean. After you get it all nice and clean, you can tape it up and spray it, or you can brush that stuff on. POR 15, it lays out pretty nicely, the gloss stuff. They do have a semi-gloss, and I think they might even have a flat black, and I believe they make a silver as well. But it's good stuff. You spray that stuff on, then you know everything is completely protected, you know, in case the carpet gets wet or damp from your weather strip seals or whatever, not adjusted properly or whatever the reason, you know, you get flooded. We live in Louisiana, which get a lot of floods, but so after you get all that done, then you can come back and scuff with your red Scotch-Brite pad for your seam sealer. Now, I just ran a bead through here and just kind of smoothed it out a little bit. You can use a brush to brush it. It's going to be covered by the carpet. You can pop 2 tape lines, like 3/4 tape, 3/4 tape, and then do your seam sealer and then peel your 3/4 tape off, and it'll give you a nice, you know, straight lines. Then you can spray wax and grease remover on your finger and on there, wet it up real nice, and you can smooth it out without it sticking to your finger. So there's like many different ways that you can, you know, do your sealer to whatever type of car it is. You know, every car is different, many different makes and models. You can try to duplicate some of the factory original stuff, especially if, you know, it's visible stuff and you're doing like a concourse level car. That's the kind of stuff that you would definitely be trying to duplicate the original stuff, you know. But it's just kind of a video to help. I've had a couple people asking me about, you know, how would I do it, and this is how I would do it. You know, more than one way to do these cars, as long as the end result is, you know, what everybody's looking to get. My car, I mean, I had to patch everything. This car was so bad with rust. I got new floors, and pretty much the only thing original left is the roof, you know. I had to change all the floor pans and trunk and rear body. The rails are original, frame rails, and most of the other stuff. But well, that's about all I got on this video. So don't forget, hit that like button, give me a thumbs up, and help my channel. And if you got any questions, please leave a comment in the comment section below, and I do my best to help you out, guide you in the right direction that you're looking to go, because I'm sure I'm gonna forget something that I didn't really touch on or whatever. Another thing is the welding. Before I forget, I would do 8mm plug welds here if it's going down like 3/4 of an inch, and then you can come back and you can tack weld, you know, it's solid or whatever you like. I usually do both. Might be a little overkill, but you could put some self-tapping screws in there and it'll hold together, or Clecos. It usually helps keep it in place while you're welding. You can run some self-tapping screws in there, and I'll usually weld, and then while it's hot I'll tap it down, make sure it's good and flat, and I'll keep going. Same thing with tacking. You can tack and just start tapping with a hammer, and it'll keep it flat. Just make sure you're not caving the metal in. You know, you want to keep it nice and tight together, the metal. And I'll usually seam seal the bottom side of the car as well, and undercoat everything, you know. Or you can use like a Raptor bed liner. They make a pretty nice do-it-yourself kit. You can buy the guns and everything, and it sprays out with a pretty nice uniform texture with the gun they sell. I'm guessing that's about it on that. But yeah, so don't forget, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And I will see you in the next video. Peace.